open up this live stream on YouTube, and hopefully I'll be able to monitor comments that way. Yeah, okay, here we go. So I'm watching this live stream here so I can monitor the chat. It's just how I'm doing it. I don't know. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thought it'd be fun to do a live stream. Haven't done a live stream for a while. So if anyone's watching, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I was having a conversation with Buddy from Chicago and John C. from Boston last night, and something that came up was the length of our wedding receptions. Because I've talked to Jay Brannon in Temecula, California before, and typically he's doing like 3.5 hour wedding receptions. I mean, that's a long one for him to do. Where I, on the other hand, in Milwaukee, my wedding receptions are typically 6 hours long, from 6 to midnight. And Jay doesn't understand why our wedding receptions are so incredibly long, where his are pretty short. And there's also a lot of things about having those shorter wedding receptions that change the way that you DJ. For instance, there's not a lot of room for filler if you've only got like an hour and 45 minutes of dancing, right? Where on the other hand, I'm doing like 4.5 hours of dancing, sometimes 5 hours of dancing, and I can do filler. I can try things. I can take chances. Where if you're doing these short events, it's a little tougher to do. So I was just curious if anybody out there wants to share with us how long their events last, where they're from, and what's typical in their area. We have On Mike's Mind from Southwest Florida. Welcome, Mike. Thanks for joining us. How long are the weddings where you live in Southwest Florida? So, we talked about it last night, and something that occurred to me was that we typically have some kind of open bar situation going on all night long. So I asked John, do they have open bar? He says, no, they have a cocktail hour. That's the open bar. And then it's cash bar from there on out. I think that's why they're sticking around, because there's open bar. That doesn't mean that everybody's taking advantage of what's offered in the open bar. For instance, where Buddy lives in Illinois, they do full open bars sometimes. They don't usually do that here in Wisconsin. Here, it's a very German settlement, and it's common to do free beer and soda. In the last, I don't know, 20 years, it's expanded to beer, wine, and soda, because wine's a thing now, right? I think that's why they're sticking around. And that doesn't mean that, somebody who doesn't want to drink Miller Genuine Draft on tap all night isn't buying a Corona or a Leinenkugels or a Jack and Coke. It just means that, the casual drinkers are usually drinking for free. If we close the bar at 9 o'clock, the event would probably end at 9:30, but the bar's open usually until, I don't know, usually I'll make last call around 11:30, maybe 22. People are good and liquored up, and they dance until midnight, and it's over. So I think that's why our events go longer. Jay also has sound ordinances he has to worry about at a lot of the properties that he plays at, and that's totally understandable. But yeah, I think that's why we go long, because of alcohol. I remember doing a Mormon wedding last year. Nicest people in the world, and the music that they really enjoyed might surprise you. It was pretty cool. I mean, they like New Order, Depeche Mode, things like that. Anyway, that was over at like 9 o'clock. No alcohol, right? There are probably other reasons it ended early, but no alcohol. Yeah, we're going to come in, we're going to eat, we're going to dance for a little while, then we're going to get out of here. It's the alcohol-free events. I don't think I've done an alcohol-free wedding that has gone 6 hours. Let me go to the comments here. Let's Let's see. Somebody's not DJing weddings anymore. Bigger weddings are usually 6. Where are you from, Justin? Justin is, I don't know where Justin's from. He hasn't said. 6 hours in Kentucky. Are they doing any kind of open bar situation or free beer and soda there? I'm just curious if alcohol has anything to do with this. I think it does. Now, I personally haven't drank in a long time. I'm drinking soda. That's even rare. I'm usually drinking coffee. And I'm probably naturally goofy anyway, so I don't need alcohol to loosen up and be stupid. But a lot of people do. And I think that's a big factor in how long these events go. Yeah, Jay says alcohol livens up the party. Yeah, I think it does. I think here in Wisconsin, most of the time, if we had full open bar all night, it would get sloppy. Because some of these young folks that come in there and just start, pounding and get pretty drunk. I've seen it before, even before the toast. The best man is just wasted. I've seen the grooms wasted early. But yeah, beer and wine here, that's kind of part of our culture, I guess. Especially the beer part. Not that big of a deal. Not really frowned upon. Like it is maybe some other places in some other cultures. Mark is I'm seeing reception, a trend of receptions going to 12 instead of 11 in Indy. They've always gone to 12 here. Back in the old days, sometimes they even went longer, like midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, bar time. But 12 is usually when they end. That's typically when the staff is on until 12. Very normal. I know there are places in other parts of the world where they're going all night long. Like Germany. Germany is insane. They will go all night. They will go like 12 hours sometimes. But yeah, 6 just sounds like a lot for people like Jay, who's only doing like 3.5-hour events, tops. Something else I was thinking about, and this is a mistake that I've made, and it's crossed my mind, but I haven't really addressed it like I should. 6 hours, yeah. Now, when I talk to people and ask, how the timeline is and what's going on, when I ask what time food is, the answer is usually 6. Like, okay, well, then we'll get you in and seated by 6. That's when things start, and then we go to midnight. And when I sell my services, the price that I give people for reception only is up to 6 hours. It starts at, this price for up to 6 hours. But you know what? Most of the time, I'm working more than 6 hours, because if dinner starts at 6, I have to get everybody organized, brought in for grand entrance, cake cutting, and a prayer by 6. So I've got to adjust that a little bit. I think I'm still going to keep it 6 hours, but if it's a 6 o'clock start time, I really need to be ready to go at 5:30. Maybe 11:30 is what they're hiring me to. And if they want to go clear to midnight, I probably need to charge them something for that. Just something I was thinking about. I dismiss it. It's usually not a big deal for me. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll just do this, and this will get us going. But no, I really should charge for that time. Don't you think? We all should charge for anything that we do, right? Canada, 5 hours till 1. Yeah, I've heard Canada, goes later. I have a friend in Vancouver, Pulse. Many of you know him. His go late. 8 or 9 hours. In Western Canada. You guys got it easy. Yeah, some people say that. Then you got guys like Jay who are looking at me like I've got 3 heads because I'm doing 6-hour weddings. It's funny. It's different depending on where you live. But I think it's interesting to think about why it's different. What makes it different culturally? What's going on? I think it's alcohol. A lot of it's alcohol. If there's no alcohol, it's a shorter event. 5 hours here in Sarasota, Florida. Okay. Let's see. I'm just kind of scanning through some of these comments. Right on. Well, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Something to discuss when I talk about anything I'm doing at an event, like a wedding reception. I'm thinking of it in terms that I'm doing a 6 hour event, not a 3 hour event. And definitely, not an 8 hour event for reception. I mean, when you add on things like, ceremony, that's different. But just, reception only, dinner and dancing, that's a little different. Some people are doing cocktail too, right? So if I've got somebody who wants me to play for cocktail, usually that'll start at 5. And then maybe, we go to 11 and they can opt in for the extra hour if they want to. That happens. But the typical 6 to midnight scenario, I've got to change something about that starting right now, whenever I organize an event. Just make it crystal clear. It's 6 hours. For the time I start to the time I end, it's 6 hours. I've missed it for years, right? Kind of, I guess. I mean, like I said before, I'm aware it's happening, but I kind of like, whatever. But I need to do something about that. I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I'm always changing things and learning new things. I am never going to be that DJ who knows everything. There are those DJs out there, they got all the answers. Sometimes they even charge you money for it. I'm not that guy. I don't have all the answers. I only have ideas and theories based on, some experience. And it's always free. This channel is always free. I'm never going to sell you anything over here. I just don't have that kind of moral compass where I feel like I can do that. That just doesn't feel right to me. 3 to 4 hours here in Western Kentucky, reception only. Brian Shepard. Brian, is there alcohol? That's the question. I've heard that in Kentucky, sometimes early in the evening, they'll do like a whiskey tasting, which I don't think is pounding whiskey. I think it's just, sipping it. Is that something that's happening in Kentucky? Somebody was telling me about that last night. I thought that was pretty interesting. Something different and very regional. I had a client a few years ago give me 800 songs to play. How long is that reception? Figure you're going to do about 70 to 80 songs in a 6 hour reception. So it's long. You're going to be there for a few days if you play the whole song. So, yeah, people are not bright. People just, that's why we're the professionals. We have to let them know what's going on here. Speaking of music, something I've been kicking around the idea of, and I want your opinions on this, whoever's here, I value your opinion. I've noticed that there are services right now that will give you a custom crate for an event. Like if you have an event where they want reggae or they want country or they want whatever, there are services out there who will charge you money to give you a crate of music that they feel will be appropriate for that event. And, whatever anybody wants to do, that's fine. But you know what I was thinking? If there are DJs out there who are really struggling with music, and I understand that a lot of them are, they may not be big music people. They know the basics, but beyond that, they don't. Or maybe there's genres they're not familiar with. I was thinking about doing some music crate videos. Just giving you a few songs to put in your crates for specific things. Like I've got one ready to go, actually. Not at the video shop, but I have the list made. And it's kind of those cool up-tempo cocktail / that time between dinner and dancing when people are clearing tables, you're kind of hyping up the crowd. Instrumentals. And I know when we're playing dinner or cocktail, sometimes we're putting on just music, or sometimes it's some jazz, or sometimes it's vitamin string or piano music or whatever it is. I like to keep it up tempo, and I also like to play things that I think my audience might actually enjoy, but maybe doesn't know. They're not going to enjoy it enough where they're going to, bust out dancing probably, but maybe they'll tap their foot and bob their head. I've got a list like this that I use, and it's very effective, and I love to share. And that's just the start. That was kind of the first thing I thought I'd do a video on. Is this something that you feel like that you would be interested in? Because if you are, I will start this series, and I'd like to do weekly, or if it's hugely successful, maybe I will do it. Maybe as soon as every video gets 1,000 views, I'll put up another one. We can talk about music all day. I could talk about music all day long. I'm a music dork, so I could definitely fill gaps with that. I can burn time with talking about music and hopefully help somebody out there. If it's something that you think you'd like, let me know. Let's see here. I don't know. Excuse me, I'm choking. Went down the wrong pipe. I just wanted to do this video. I didn't want to do a formal video. I just wanted to do a live stream. It's been a while. And I thank you guys for tuning in. If you like the idea of kind of the crate videos, let me know. And I will do crate videos. I feel like that my purpose here is to help. And that might be helpful. I know DJs like to know everything. They don't like to admit that they don't know something. But if you can kind of humble yourself just long enough to watch maybe a 5-minute video on some music that you're not familiar with, I'm happy to do those videos for you. Maybe you know the music, maybe you don't. A lot of the music that I play, I'm not seeing on anyone's list because I'm Googling this stuff and trying to find lists with the songs that I use on it, and they don't exist. And the songs I use are effective for some of this stuff. Try to be a little different. I don't want to be like every other DJ. I want to be my own unique DJ, and that's why I don't play what everybody else plays. I mean, we all kind of play the same thing with dancing. I mean, people want to hear what they want to hear, and you got to play it, and you don't have much of a choice about that. But there are other times when we're doing, other types of music or other types of functions during the evening where we don't have to sound like everybody else. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I will try to monitor this comment section. Thank you for your likes, by the way. If you're watching, if you can hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. It does mean a lot. If you ever see anything on my channel that you think is useful and you would like to help somebody, please share it. Put it somewhere where someone else might see it and get something out of it. That would be a really cool way for all of us to help each other. So if you're involved in a group or whatever and you think my video is relevant to something there or could help somebody there, share it. If you are an admin of a group and you want to see me share my videos just to your channel somewhere or to your page or whatever, let me know. I'm happy to do it. It's all free. I don't want anything from you. There's no hustle here. I've been here for a long time. I think 16 years now. And I'm still here, and I'm not going anywhere. Seen them come and go, but I'm still here. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to turn this off. We will see you next time. Take care of yourselves, practice, and enjoy.